Okay, you're at the Watchman Way. May 15th, 2020. The road show continues from Scottsdale, Arizona. Bouncing around a little bit, trying to confuse the enemy. We're on the run. No big deal. Boy. Where to begin? 7 Amazon workers died of virus as staff afraid to return to work. We got the Democrats throwing money at people, 600 more than regular unemployment. The stimulus, $1,200 a month or whatever they're doling out, and ginning up this fear porn. So now people have an excuse not to go back to work because they're afraid to go back to work because they're going to get the virus and die. Hogwash. This thing is 1/3 as deadly as the common flu. If you're a healthy adult, you're not going to die. I would believe that only healthy adults are working at Amazon. And the ones that aren't probably should stay home. End of story. The Democrats / globalist, and that's really what we're talking about here. It's not the Democratic Party anymore. It's really the globalist party, although there are a lot of Republicans that are going to go down with the swamp that are globalist. For the most part, the Democratic Party is going to be recognized as a globalist party. And that's going to devastate the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is done. I believe this will be the last election the Democratic Party fields any candidates, because no one will admit to being a Democrat by the end of this year. When Democrats see what their leaders, their heroes have been doing, the Clintons, Obamas, well, you got to throw the Bushes in. I mean, there's Republicans in this deal too. But the Democrats are the ones that are going to get hammered for it because they're the ones at the forefront. Pelosi, Schiff, Schumer, Feinstein, Obama, Clinton. I mean, and go on and on and on and on. Most of the Obama administration is going to be executed for treason. It's a fact. It's going to happen. Probably before the end of the year. Obama is going to be arrested. I think this month. It could be the first part of June. I think he's a dead man before the end of the year. He will be executed or suicide. Same with Bush. Same with Clinton. I think maybe the whole Clinton family is going to go down. Chelsea too. They're satanic pedophiles. They torture and murder children. Anybody who's guilty of treason or murdering children is going down. President Trump understands that this ends now. This has to end now. And it's not going to end unless we eradicate this evil. And that's what's coming. A lot of good things are coming. It's all good. They don't want you to know that. They want you living in fear. They want you arguing with fellow patriots and Christians. There's a lot of truth going to come out. A lot of truth about religion. A lot of truth about how the Bible has been manipulated. Religion's been manipulated. I believe by the end of this year, mid next year at the latest, we're going to have a completely different understanding about almost everything. But religion and politics and government and the way the world has worked for the last several hundred years, it's all going to be revealed, and it's going to rock the world to its core. You have to use your critical thinking skills. You have to question everything. You have to use discernment to get through this. And we will be here the whole way through to talk you guys through it. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to worry about. There are a lot of big changes coming in a very short period of time. But nothing to be fearful of. I know change is hard. And I was just talking to a member today. We're going to have probably the three biggest events in human history. Three of the biggest events in the top 5, for sure, coming within a few weeks of each other. The first ever worldwide economic collapse, the draining of the worldwide swamp, and the eradication of satanic pedophilia from the world. And this, make no mistake, we're not talking about rounding up a couple of hundred pedophiles, dirty old men that work the back alleys, the seedy parts of town. We're talking about the wealthiest, most powerful people in the world. Former presidents, at least 3. The Queen, Prince Andrew, the Pope, most of the Vatican. It all stops. It all ends this year. Everything God showed me in 2014 is happening this year. And if you don't see it, you need new glasses. You need to go to the eye doctor. You need to have your IQ checked. Because if you're looking beyond CNN, it's obvious that something isn't right. You got to start asking questions. Believe me or don't believe me, you will find out that everything I'm telling you is true. Prove it to yourself. Prove me wrong if you can. You're going to work a lot of hours. You're not going to get anywhere. But please try if you don't believe it. JFK is alive. JFK Jr. is alive. He's coming out sometime before mid-July, I think. I think he's going to be the vice presidential running mate of President Trump. And I believe he will be our president in 2024. There's a lot going on here that I think is going to affect governments around the world. I think things that might change our whole system. There's talk that President Trump could be our last president. I'm not worried about any of that stuff. God is 100% in control. Exactly how this is supposed to work out is how it's going to work out for the betterment of mankind and the world. I am I've always known this was coming, but we are almost there. Any day, this is going down. It changes the world forever. I've said this before. It's hard to put words to what God's shown me. But the closest thing I can come is heaven on earth. I keep telling people, fantasize about what the perfect world would be to you. And it's going to be better than that. Because it's going to be like nothing we've ever experienced in this world before. Ever. Because the bottom line is monsters have been controlling our world since Babylon. We have never been free, even in America, ever. You'll find out the whole truth. There's a lot that was going on behind the scenes with our Constitution, with our government, with our judicial system. It's all going to come out. Changes are being made for our benefit. When I say our benefit, I'm talking about the American people. I'm talking about the common man around the world. The abuses that, whatever you want to call them, the cabal, the Illuminati, the elite, the deep state, the swamp, they're all connected. They're all the same people. Their day is done. That's why you're seeing the panic in their eyes, in their faces, because they finally understand that they're dead men walking. Because pretty much all of the front people, Pelosi, Schumer, Schiff, Obama, 100 from the Obama administration maybe are going to be executed. Almost anybody you could name, any of the common names that you know, Biden, Holder, Lynch, Yates, Rosenstein. Go on and on and on. Almost anybody that you can name, McCabe, Mueller, Comey, Schrock, Page, they've all committed treason. We're headed in to man's greatest age, the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. 1,000 years of peace and prosperity, because once we remove this evil from the world, it's changed forever. They've been responsible for every war, every terrorist attack, every school shooting the last 300 years. And virtually overnight, they're gone. What do you think that means to the world? You should be getting chills right now, because it's never going to be the same. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to be happy. They want you fearful. They thrive on it. They thrive on death and destruction. Not anymore. The rule of law is coming back to America. President Trump will go down as our greatest president. Nobody close. He will be credited with saving our constitutional republic and the world. Because without America, the world is finished. Our founders and the Second Amendment saved the world. Make no mistake. Because if America lost their guns, our guns, it was over. It was over. That was the last thing holding these guys back. Because they knew they could never go door to door here and take our guns. 320 million Americans with 500 million guns and billions of rounds of ammo. You want to come take our guns? Bring it. You think the UN's going to come and take our guns? It will be the biggest massacre the world has ever seen. Those 1 million UN troops, it'll be a slaughter. Bring them. 1 million troops with no air support against the most powerful military in the world and 320 million Americans with 500 million guns? Bring them. It's never going to happen. All these bullshit stories about Russians going to invade us, or North Korea is going to start a nuclear war, or Iran's going to send us a nuke. It's all fear porn. Don't fall for it. Any of it. None of it is true. Anytime you see a post, a news report, an article that's talking about something negative, it's bullshit. The negative stuff is behind us. We have won this war. This war that's been going on for 5 years now. It's going on behind the scenes for 3. The world's going to be amazed at all the military actions that have gone on around the world that have been unreported. Most of this battle, the last 3 years, has been fought underground. Places that people don't even know exist. Thousands of miles of underground freeways, high-speed rail, all across America, crisscrossing America. Deep underground bases throughout America and the world. China Lake, the 4th and 5th of July. Those weren't earthquakes. Those were mini nukes going off in a deep underground base. You know how I know? Look at the earthquakes. July 4th, whatever it was, I'm going to just say it was a 6.5. I was in that ballpark. And that evening on the news, they announced that the next day, within 24 hours, there's going to be another one, and it's going to be bigger. And it wasn't like we might have aftershocks that might be bigger. It was there's going to be another one within 24 hours, and it will be bigger. You know why? Because they didn't take out all the base with the first nuke. And they knew they were going to have to do another one that was bigger. And the next day, there's another earthquake in exactly the same spot that was bigger. Those weren't earthquakes. People have been talking about explosions around the world that were unexplainable or unexplained. They are explainable. It's been going on for 3 years, and it's finally over. We won this war. So don't listen. Everything else is distraction. Everything else. The Second Amendment violations. All this crap with these governors overstepping the Constitution. President Trump has played this beautifully with Fauci, with Gates, with these globalist governors. He's giving them all the rope they wanted to hang themselves, and they did. They've exposed themselves for the radical communists that they are. And people aren't happy. Democrats are leaving the party in droves, thousands every day, because they're disgusted by what they see. You can't blame them. You know, I lost hundreds of Democratic friends in the Bay Area the last several years. Not one of those people is evil. They're ignorant, but they're not evil. They will never vote for one of these monsters again. They're done. There's nowhere for them to go except for Gitmo, the end of a rope. That's where they're headed. So no fear, no worry. Ignore the fear porn. When you see it on social media, attack it. Don't let them get away with this crap. I talk to people every day that are suffering through this. with anxiety and fear. And there's no reason for it. None at all. It's all smoke and mirrors. That's their only weapon now, is fear. And it means nothing unless you let it. So don't let it. Anybody needs to talk about this? My number's around everywhere. Get a hold of me, message me, whatever. There is no reason for fear. Don't play into their hand. Don't play into the distractions. Don't play into the fear porn. And knock it down every chance you get. And don't forget red pilling and preparing. You know, that's our job. J.C. Penney files for Chapter 11. Think there's going to be a recovery? I don't think so. How the virus is forcing Americans into early retirement. Half the people approaching retirement aren't prepared. That's not a surprise. Wuhan ordered to test all 11 million residents in 10 days as Beijing scrambles to stop the virus round 2. What's round 2 going to be? A tenth the danger of the common flu? I'm not worried. Bring it. Expect more fear porn. Ignore it. Look at the mortality rate. The only people who need to be concerned about this are people with compromised immune systems. If you're a healthy adult, if you're a healthy elderly person, there are people in their 80s. I think there's a lady in their 90s that sailed through the virus. I think, honestly, like any illness or injury, your mental attitude has a huge impact on your recovery, on how you get through. So, if you're in fear, you're not going to fare as well as if you understand this is just the flu and it's nothing to be fearful of. It's not. I am not the least bit concerned about this virus. And nobody should be if you're healthy. Tesla plans to open new factory in Texas as Musk spurns a fascist California. I did too. That's why I'm in Arizona. You know why? Constitutional carry. I can carry this wherever I want. I mean, I think there's some exceptions. All I need, if I'm a legal gun owner, I'm a legal concealed carry. Constitutional carry. That's how it should be across America. I believe President Trump's going to make that happen. And it should happen. We'll see. Oh, SIG P365 SAS. If I was only going to get one gun, if I could only carry one gun or have one gun, this would be it. 9mm, 12-round magazine plus one, so 13 rounds in your pocket. A pleasure to shoot. It's got the ported barrel. See the port? That allows gas to escape. So with these light guns, the problem is, even with a 9mm, you get a lot of muzzle flip, a lot of recoil. This port makes it a perfect gun for a woman. You got 13 rounds in your purse of 9mm. Great gun. Official gun of the Watchman. Okay. nursing home deaths peak in Illinois. Governor slammed for failing to protect the state's most vulnerable. Cuomo went through the same thing. A lot of people are asking a lot of questions. Like, how in the hell did you allow COVID patients into nursing homes? So you're putting virus patients in with our most vulnerable class of people? I mean, that's common sense. Common sense ignorance. How do you allow that to happen? I would think if I was a prosecutor, this is negligence, maybe criminal negligence. And then Cuomo apologizes in New York. Yeah, tell it to the families. I hope it bankrupts them. Well, they're already bankrupt. This could be the final nail in the coffin. Has anyone given credit to the virus for exposing the general folly of our times? Free money. 0% interest. QE. Destroyed our economy. You can't have 0% interest. I mean, think about this for a second. Really. 0% interest? How does that work? How about negative interest, like they've got in the EU? You know, you give them $1 million and you get 990,000 back in 5 years. I'll take that deal, please. It's lunacy. Its only purpose is to kick the can down the road, to keep this bullshit financial system propped up until they're ready, right? Well, the deep state's ready because they're not going to let this economy get to the election. If it hasn't collapsed organically on its own, and POTUS hasn't declared a reset, they will collapse this economy in September. That's their dream, is that nothing happens until September. President Trump knows this. I think he's got to declare a reset pretty quick. Next 30 days. I mean, I think he's got to do it before, he's got to do it before September. He's got to do it before they do. Then he's in control, as opposed to, like I've said, an organic collapse, which is a lot of fear and chaos. If this thing goes down naturally, it's going to be worse than a reset that's controlled by President Trump. Changes the whole dynamics, changes the whole perception of America and the world, really. U.S. blocks shipment of semiconductors to Huawei in latest provocations of Beijing. I think this is mostly a distraction. I think that the real powers that be in China, and remember, every country has got its version of a deep state, even China. So I believe that President Trump is working with the white hat elements in China behind the scenes, just like he's working with Putin. So the one thing he's not going to allow is this negative 5G. President Trump, 2 or 3 weeks ago, wrote an executive order that gives him 100% control of 5G technology in America. I guarantee you he will not allow harmful technology into America. We will have a different 5G system than the EU or Asia has. It's already in the works. Everybody's talking, they're rushing to get this 5G in. Yeah, they are. The deep state is. They're rushing. Not going to do them any good. Just because the deep state wants it doesn't mean that it's going to be allowed. They aren't driving the bus. They can want whatever they want. President Trump has control. So you have to understand who President Trump is. He's one of us. He's not a deep stater. He's not a deep state shill. He's not working behind the scenes with the deep state like everybody these fear porners want us to believe. Again, to gin up the fear. And not going to happen. New York City reports fewer than 150 deaths for the first time in 7 weeks as the reopen begins. What's Cuomo going to do now? This thing is falling apart. It's the flu. It's acting just like I said, 1/3 the mortality rate of the flu. So it's not even the flu. 25% of U.S. restaurants will never reopen. And there's going to be thousands of businesses that never reopen. Anybody who thinks we're just going to flip a switch and the economy's going to go back to normal, not going to happen. You can't do it. You can't close an economy that's struggling, and then you shut down revenue for 2 months and think that we're just going to pop right back. Think again. No proof that Russia hacked the DNC. Dems hid sworn CrowdStrike testimony for over 2 years. Well, for probably whenever that happened, 3 or 4 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe 5. I knew that the Russians didn't hack the DNC because the metadata proved that it wasn't a hack. So in the metadata from that leak, it was not by Seth Rich. It is 100% a leak. You could question Seth Rich. I think it's all going to come out. He was the one. That's why they murdered him, because he was the one that leaked it. He had the thumb drive on him when they murdered him. That's what they were after. Bill Benny, famous for some of the programs he wrote for the NSA, a patriot, a hero, looked at the metadata. He's probably the preeminent expert on this stuff in America. And he confirmed that this was a leak and not a hack, because whenever you're hacking, you're off-site, and it could be just across the street from whatever it is you're hacking. It'll take you 4 or 5 times as long for that data to download if you're doing it remotely, as opposed to using a thumb drive on site. It's going to be 4 or 5 times as long. So they knew for a fact that it wasn't a hack. They knew that it was a leak. From virtually the first month, Bill Benny looked at this. We've known all along. President Trump's known all along. But they didn't say anything. They didn't use it. They were holding back. It's all going to come out. New vaccine czar says January is a credible goal for POTUS's 300 million dose target. We're not going to need half of that, because it will be voluntary. President Trump's already said a lot of people aren't going to want to take it. He's not going to make them take it. No one's going to make you take a vaccine. It will be your choice. I think half. Honestly, I don't see 50 million people. When they find out the truth about vaccines, and they will know the truth, I don't think 50 million people want vaccines. You got to be a moron to want a vaccine. President Trump knows it. That's another hot button for the fear porners. They're gonna go door to door. They're gonna drag you out of your house. It's all bullshit. Don't fall for that stuff. POTUS says schools should reopen in the fall, and we're back, vaccine or no vaccine. I'm telling you, President Trump's ready to open this whole thing up. We're not going to go to the election. There's not going to be mail-in ballots. Never going to happen. They're not going to get what they want. The globalists aren't getting what they want. There will be no mail-in ballots in America. You don't have an ID with your picture, you're not going to vote. End of story. No more fixing elections. Facebook buys Giphy for $400 million as tech giant pledges to banish all hateful memes. I can't wait until Mark Zuckerberg is in Gitmo. He is going to Gitmo. Don't make any mistake about it. He never invented Facebook. Facebook was invented by the CIA. Zuckerberg is a CIA asset. Probably going down for treason along with Bezos, Schmidt, Dorsey. Twitter, Amazon, Google, Facebook are going to have their assets seized. Gates, Soros, Rothschilds, Rockefellers. Not only are they going to be executed, they're going to have every penny seized from them. Those 13 bloodlines in the Illuminati will be exterminated and their assets will be seized. Evil is finished. 90% of the evil in the world will be eradicated. Fauci versus POTUS. Who's right? I'll give you one guess. Okay. Where are What do we got for questions? Danielle, what's up? Lisa? Melody, how are you? Melody closes on her home loan next Friday. Fingers crossed, Melody. Oh, and the reset, guys. Melody doesn't make 3 payments on that house. She's going to own it free and clear. You're going to own your homes free and clear. You're going to own your vehicles free and clear. Probably going to lose your pension funds. Here's a benefit of Nasara Jacera if it happens. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's probably more likely than it's ever been, in my opinion. But that's the one thing that could save the pension funds. You know, I've been saying that pension funds will go to zero. And if it wasn't for Nasara Jacera, that money that's available through those programs, the pension funds would be dead. But that's, again, I haven't talked a lot about this the last year and a half because there have been so many deadlines that this was supposed to happen and never did. So I just walked away from it probably 2 years ago. because I wasn't going to talk about something that just was never happening. I'm not saying it's going to happen now, but if it does, it's icing on the cake. Get your prepping, extra food, extra water, medical supplies, ammo, physical silver, and Litecoin. But it would be a good thing if it happened. Dan Bongino says country is broke. It's broke, and we had no GDP for 2 months. Listen, it's over. Trust me, you can't have an economy that's on the ropes with world record debt and then shut down the worldwide economy for 2 months and think it's going to be okay. There are things that have happened that have already sealed the fate. This economy is finished. It's a matter of when do they declare it? When do they show it? Yeah, Europe's bad, Asia's bad for 5G. Chrissy, how you doing? Jerry, what's up? Lena, hello. Mike Jan, man. Go to Mike Jan, man, guys, for colloidal silver and colloidal copper. Well, it's 1 trillion a month right now, guys. It's over 3 trillion since this started, but we're burning 1 trillion a month just to keep the wheels turning on our economy. Listen, we went 250 plus years to get to 10 trillion. 250 years to get to 10 trillion. And now we're doing 1 trillion a month. How long? It can't go on for very long, trust me. And it's not getting any better. It's getting worse. Tina, how you doing? Good job, Tina. Is letting her son know how to use the ledger in case something happens to her. Everybody should have a backup like this. You don't want your family to miss out because you didn't make it for some reason. Make sure that you have someone in your family that knows where the ledger is, knows what the codes are. Dennis, what's up? There's Kevin, guys. Thanks, Kevin, for everything you do. Litecoin, Silver, Ledger, Coinbase, Gemini. Talk to Kevin. Phone number 702-325-9258. Call him. Nick, what's up? Deborah. Yeah, listen, guys, when this blows, you're going to see a surge for mass adoption of cryptocurrencies, especially Litecoin, because it's so versatile. You're going to be able to get a Visa card for your Litecoin. Basically, like use the balance of your, like, say, Coinbase account to get a credit card. Todd, how you doing? Barbara, what's up? Sharpshooter Shelley, how are you? Nick. Yeah, Nick had to click on the video 20 times to get to the chat tonight. Listen, 2 weeks ago, I think, we were hitting 2,500 views a night. We'd have 2,500 views. 3,500 to 4,000, I think, was the tops. Now we're down to like 700, 600. They are steering you guys away from us. They don't like our message. Rebecca, how you doing? Terry, don't listen, guys. Do not worry about the price of Litecoin. It's irrelevant. The first jump is going to happen when the economy collapses. Don't even pay attention to it until then. And then this is a long-term investment. No one should be looking at using for at least 2 years, and 4 years is optimum. The longer you keep it, the more it's going to be worth. That's why I keep telling you guys, get as much as you can. Just don't get what you think is enough. Get as much as you can. Any cash you leave in the bank, you're going to lose. And with Coinbase, I think Gemini, you can do this also. You can use them as a secondary bank account. Like this morning, I've got to pay a bill, $400. This morning, I sold off some Litecoin. It was in my account this afternoon. So you don't in the bank, Coinbase, and then transfer your account as needed. There's no excuse to lose any more money to the banks. Don't do it. Lisa, how you doing? Roxanne, hello. Matt. Paul, what's up? Kathleen, hello. Yeah, J.C. Penney's 118 years, filed Chapter 11. 118 years in business, gone. That's where we're at. Cecil, what's up? Facebook is messing with us for sure, guys. Masks give people a false sense of security. And guys, it's the flu. Don't worry about it. Roxanne bought 200 ounces and is red pilling people. Good job, Roxanne. Keep it going. What's up, Tessie? The money is going to go back to the people. We'll see how that plays out. Again, that's icing on the cake. If you've got your Litecoin and silver, you're not going to need to worry about it. You're not going to need to be with like everybody else waiting for that check or whatever, however they're going to do this. And again, I'm not saying it's going to happen because I can't tell you how many times I heard a deadline that Nassaro was going to be enacted. I don't know, 10, 15 deadlines at least that were missed. So listen, if it happens, it's great. If it doesn't, it's no big deal. You got Litecoin and silver. We're going to get through this fine. God's people are going to control our next financial system. That's what God wants. And we saw what happens when evil controls the financial systems. That's over. God wants his people. He wants us to control it. He wants us to use the proceeds from our silver and Litecoin to lay the foundation of his church the way. That's what we're doing. Todd, what's up? See, guys, on my the picture's perfect. I've got perfect reception here. They're messing with us. I mean, I can tell on my end when we're having problems. It's perfect. Yeah, they filed Chapter 11, guys, but I don't think they're going to be around in a year. They're crippled, they're hamstrung, and at a not a great position. I just don't see them surviving it. Yeah, see, something's going on because, you know, on my end, it's good. Something's happening. Where we go one, we go all. Okay, Lena's saying she's having trouble getting the carbon 60 down. I actually like the taste, but you guys, you can put this in your salad dressing. I mean, you can mix it in a drink. I mean, be creative. You can put it in anything you use olive oil for, you can use. I would try different things. Find something that works. I take it with my squirt, diet squirt. I love the taste of it. It's charcoal. What's not to like? Cousin Monica, how you doing? Matt, what's up? Deborah. Yeah, listen. Doc Cheryl, how you doing? Dawn. Yeah, they can file, guys. We'll see what happens. Yeah, no one had to die from this. Again, it's the flu. Most of the people that died from this died because they purposely gave them the wrong treatment or they fed them Advil. That is going to account when this is all 75% of the deaths. Well, they don't like the truth because the Benny, what's up? Oh yeah, I got a haircut 2 days ago. Finally, I've needed one for 2 months. Uh, Social Security deposits. I'm not sure what the question is here. Looks more like a statement. Rita sold her coins yesterday late morning, and they were in her bank this morning. So if you're after 7:30 in the morning, it's probably not going to hit. But if you need it, just do it earlier. It's pretty efficient, guys. I've been doing this now for probably 6 months, and it's worked great for me. Kevin's saying there were reports of Gates' arrest just before he came on. I'm telling you, it's coming. This whole thing's ready to go, guys. Where we go one, we go all. I'm not even going to go there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you were asking guys about Social Security's deposited into your account, when that happens, when I get my checks, most of it goes into Litecoin immediately. I keep, whatever I know I'm going to need for bills over the next few days, but most of it I put into Litecoin. Yeah, and that's not a verified report from Kevin. Okay, guys, so just putting that out there. Again, the reports that Gates has been arrested, but it's not confirmed yet. Don't go to Facebook till we get confirmation. Yeah, vaccines are not good, guys. They're not there to help us. No one. One. Glenn, what's up? Ray, how you doing? Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you guys, I've been doing this for a while now. When it's this good on my side, it's not your reception usually when there's so many people complaining. It's interference. Sherman, good job. I'm telling you guys, in 5 years, everyone in the world will be taking carbon 60. The first business I'm going to open after the collapse is a carbon 60. I'm going to produce carbon 60. That's how much I believe in it. And I've been on it for 5 years now. Lena wants to know about phone numbers for everybody. We have it. We're actually Lisa's working on a database right now. You can leave it at thewatchmanway.com. I think there's a special section to leave your information. So go to thewatchmanway.com and ask Lisa if you have trouble finding it. Kevin probably could help you too. Or Dan. Gary, what's up? Yes, they don't like our message, guys. I would love to use. Hopefully, that's going to happen here in the next few weeks. I think eventually seize control of the mainstream media, including social media. Tita said to have a meet and greet before Facebook shuts me down. uh, hey, I'm open, guys. I might even do a traveling show, depending on how quickly this all breaks. Um, yeah, I like to do that. We talked about having a live audience in Phoenix here. Um, it's still possible. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe when some of the restaurants open, we can do it at a restaurant or something. Um, we'll talk about it. Yeah, ventilators. It was the misuse of the ventilators that killed a lot of people, and they knew it too. You got to watch that video I posted, I think last week, the nurse in New York. Stopped them from doing some of these things, and they just ignored her. That's murder. These people should, that nurse, the prosecutor, hold of that tape because there's some people that needs to go to jail for what they were doing in New York. People. Report of an earthquake near the Denver airport. Everybody, I hope all the watchmen should know about what's underneath the Denver airport, a deep underground base, and reports of an earthquake there, which they don't usually get many earthquakes. Wisconsin's finally starting to open. Don't worry, guys. I will stay strong. Kill me to stop me. Thank you, Kevin. Amen. Cherie, how you doing? Yeah. This is almost over, guys. This whole virus circus. Hang in there for another week or two. So we got another. Well, I don't know. No, I don't. I think Obama could be the next one to go down, and I think it could go down. Well, there's actually a report that says it's already happened. We'll see. It's irrelevant. It doesn't really happen until they announce it, like President Trump or Barr announces it. It's going to rock the world, guys. When they announce that either Clinton or Obama has been arrested, it's going to rock the world. Economy doesn't last 2 weeks once that happens. I think it might be Obama, actually. I think Obama is going to be the first one. They're going to get him on the FISA, I think. Treason. And listen, Obama's got a minimum, I think, 5 treason charges. And could be a lot more than that. Oop. Fat fingers. Oh, what the heck? Okay, guys, that's all. All right. Stay calm. Don't fall for the distractions. Stay positive when you're reaching out to people. There's not much time left. We need to use every day. We need to use every minute. Every person matters. We want to get every single last person we can on our program. Keep pushing. Stay positive. I think I'm going to wrap it up for tonight with our prayer. For God and country, amen. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.